Hello? Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me well. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having the desire to learn, the desire to improve, and the desire to make your players better. These 2 days, I'm going to try to share my ideas. What I've been doing the last 7 seasons in Berlin, in Alba Berlin, is I've been in charge of the player development department. And basically what I do now, my job is divided in several areas. I'll just give you a quick background, okay? So you might think, like, you know, at least you might not think, this guy, who the hell is it? So just explain briefly. I work with our professional EuroLeague team, with the players on the individual plans. I set up the plans, think of their short-term and long-term development. I do the same with our women's team. It's also professional, and actually this year we've won the German league in the second season. We are in the first division. And I also work coordinating the work of our youth coaches from U16, U18, and our second team. And I try to help them to set up the plans for our prospects and help their coaches in this second part of my job on their coaches development side, and help them on, hopefully give them a little bit of guidance and help on how to coach, how to teach, and thinking about learning, thinking about these ideas. Well, this is my job, okay? And when I step on the court, when we start practice one day, it's very important to understand that it's not just about showing up and do something and do whatever. And I have been in the past in Europe with coaches, all types of coaches. And in the past, myself, I didn't have the knowledge I have now after a few years of practices and training and making mistakes. And really at the beginning, I was not as careful as I am now on what to do, okay? It's not the same, get on the court and get some rebounds and get a player to shoot, that run a practice with a purpose, with a plan, following some steps with a goal. And that makes a whole difference. And go there and help a player to shoot and just spend some minutes with them is also good. And sometimes, as coaches, we have to do that, especially to strengthen our relationships with them, which are, to me, that is key, number one, to make the skill development effective. Get that bond, get that relationship about two people willing to work together to improve and respect each other to improve, okay? So when we set up a plan, I will explain tomorrow more about this. I don't want to get too long into this, but it's not about one day waking up and saying, oh, we're going to do this. One day, sometimes you wake up brighter than other days, and then you come up with a good idea, and you try to put that together with the others. Okay, that's part of it too. But there has to be, and in my case, the way I do it is a deep analysis on the player, on games, practices, behavior, mentality, and with all that, then you set up a plan. I need a little bit of space because I will have to come in the computer and from time to time. Yeah, better. Yeah, thank you. First, and this is a very important point for me. Nobody, not one coach, not Phil Jackson, nobody, well, Phil Jackson maybe, but nobody is God. Nobody has the truth with him or with her. That does not exist. What I explained to you is what has been useful for me, what I found useful to make players improve, but not everything works with everybody the same way, and not everything works in every other club or environment. I just explained to you the things that through the years, I have done, the mistakes I have made that have led me to this situation, this position now, and I have together a little bit of concepts, ideas, methodology that is being created mainly through the mistakes I have done. And that's the only way. The same way we tell the players all the time, you guys got to make mistakes to learn from them. And there is some mistakes that coaches should punish you, but there are some other mistakes that coaches should not punish you because they are part of the learning. It's the same with coaches. We got to make mistakes. And I have made millions. And I have made mistakes on planning, on drills, on correcting, on saying things to the players that I shouldn't have, million times, and that's part of it, okay? So just basically, you guys got to understand that it's your ideas. You all have to create your own foundation, your own ideas. And very important that my skill development, I tried very, very hard to do that. Simplify the game. Not complicate it. Simplify it. And I see so many things on the internet that people are getting too complicated on things that they are useless. And it's hard as a coach to find the things that they are useful, they are effective, they make you a better player, and they make your team better. They make your team better. The coaches I've been working with in ACB, in EuroLeague, I have been very lucky in Spain to work with 4 of the top coaches of the last 30 years, and they all have in common several things. And one of them is when they have problems on their teams, always come back to the basics and do the little things right. And you hear that saying to coaches all the time in interviews and all that, but what does it mean exactly? Because that sentence is very clear. Oh, come back to the basics. Yeah, what are the basics? And this is one of the reasons I train like I do. And my methodology is the way it is, and you will see. I'm not going to talk too much about this, and hopefully tomorrow, after today and tomorrow, you guys can even define to me the basic points of what I do, okay? And hopefully that would mean that I have done fairly clear explanations of what I do, okay? When we set up a plan, when we run a practice, when we try to do something, what do we base our decisions on? What do we try to do? How? Why? To me, everything starts down to that question. When we see a game, and we have these guys here playing 5 minutes without knowing them. Imagine there's somebody you probably know many of them. Just you see 10 people you don't know, and I ask you, who are the best players? And the most of us will have different opinions. I think this, I think that, I think this, I think that. And why? What makes a good player good? What makes a great player great? How can we make an average player to be good? And how can we make a good player to be great? And how can we make a bad player be so-so? Why? There's some shooters, there are some guys that are very good shooters. There's some guys that are very good defenders. There's guys that are very good rebounders. There's guys that are very good passers. But none of them means they are good players, in my opinion. None of them. That means they are good at one thing, or maybe 2, maybe 3 things. And to me, what makes really the big difference is what I wrote down there in red. To me, the biggest thing is the players that do what they want to do with common sense, understanding what is happening, with awareness of the things that are happening around. Basically, they shoot when they can shoot, pass when they can pass, dribble when they can dribble, or shoot when they have to shoot, pass when they have to pass, dribble when they have to dribble, or even shoot. And according more to my philosophy and how I train is shoot when you can, pass if you can't, and only dribble if you cannot do either one of the others. That's how I see basketball. Now, and it's not only in North America, happens in Europe, everywhere too. We are so much trapped into the individualism of life. And in basketball, it's a lot more, that we continuously get impacted by the highlights of players making unbelievable baskets, doing unbelievable moves. And that's fantastic, but how much of real basketball has that? How much sense makes to teach my 14-year-old school kid certain things of those things that can actually make him a better player? Because the reality is that, and this is for you guys more, well, they put up the points up there in the game. They don't put the names of the guys. It's the teams. It's the teams. So when I make a mistake on defense and I get beat and they score, they don't score on that player. They score on all 5 of us. And when I make a shot, it doesn't matter if I make a shot. What matters is the point. The team get the point. And we all know that, but how can we practice putting that on top of our priorities? We are playing a team sport. How can we let it clear for the players and for the coaches that we are playing a team sport? Anybody has any answer? Well, I'll give you a little hint. With this. Okay? I didn't say at the beginning, please interrupt me anytime. Anytime, if you have any question, if you find something I say, it doesn't make sense to you, or you want to just speak, it's fine. And I love it. So the more we interact, the more profitable it will be for everybody. So please don't be afraid of doing that anytime you want. Feel free to do it. Passing. And that is one of the cornerstones of the methodology I use to train individual skills. It's not dribbling, it's not shooting. Shooting a little more, but definitely it's not dribbling. Because here there is a misconception. It's not the same dribbling as it is ball handling and how to deal with the ball. And it's a lot more important for players, for the most of the players, not dropping the ball when they receive a pass and catch it the right way, than it is to dribble the ball between the legs behind the back and take crazy shots fading away. That's a lot more. Because you hurt your team a lot more and you help your team a lot more if every time there's somebody driving, they're making a cut, somebody helps, you catch a ball, boom, you finish good. You're making a cut, backdoor, receive, you don't drop it. You come off a screen, you receive it, you catch it, you make decisions, and you finish or you pass. If you drop those balls, and that has to do with handling and has to do with passing. Okay, let's take the example. So that's one of the cornerstones. Another one. Let's take the example of the recent MVP of the NBA, Nikola Jokic. And I like especially also talk about Luka Doncic. when we see a good player, a super good player, if you think of several of them, including these two, what do you think they have in common, those guys? What thoughts come to your mind? Yep.
They're able to make the appropriate read, 2 passes in the nets.
Okay. Make the proper read and appropriate. Good. What else? Yep. Footwork. Super. Right, footwork. That footwork that allows them what? Okay. See, be aware of the court. And what does the footwork give you? In a big importance, not entirely, but big. What does the footwork give you? Any answer? Yeah? Advantage? Yeah, advantage. Yeah, but I want to go a little before that too. Give you options, and give you options because you are balanced. You are in control of the body. And the proper footwork gives you control of the body. And you will see a lot of drills we're going to do just to help the players to be under control of their body and maintain a position where they can make decisions without being biased to do either thing. Give me a ball, please. Thank you. If I am like this, there's certain things I cannot do from this position. If I am like this, there's certain things I cannot do. If I am like this, there's certain things I cannot do. But if I am like this, pretty much can do anything. Triple threat, right? That's why it's called like that. But not only triple threat is important because you can pass, drive, or shoot. Triple threat is important because from here, you can go left, right, backward, and forward on the first step. From here. You can go this way, that way, without having to be prepared to do it. If I am leaning a little bit on this side, I cannot go all the options the same way. If I am a little bit forward, I cannot go all the options in the same way. And that might affect my action, and that make me have a turnover, just because I'm not balanced and in control of the body. Okay? Good. Another thing those guys have in common is that they all seem very slow. Is that right? We're talking, forget Michael Jordan. Because Michael Jordan was like, and the more basketball, the more years I have, the more you go crazy with the things he did on the court. Which when I was young, I just was amazed, but the more knowledge you have, the more you appreciate how unbelievable and uncomparable he was. But he was quick, balanced, decision, shooting, passing. Well, normally people is not like that. But the other most of the good players, they seem very slow. Jokic, Doncic, Larry Bird, for people of my age. Even Steph Curry is not like super quick, it's not slow. It's a lot faster than those other guys, obviously, but it's not known because of his quickness. Just a few examples. And my question is, why? Like, God, these guys, they look so slow, and they get away with everything, and they just toy the guy they have in front many of the plays. Not all the time, but many of the plays. And to me, that is the answer and the other foundation of how I train, the way I train, and how all the drills we're going to do. The answer is because those guys are capable of linking actions in a continuous manner without rushing their game. Anything they do doesn't seem like they're surprised by the actions of the teammates, of the defenders, and they get out of control, and sometimes they do, obviously. But you see them playing, and they seem to play in a flow. They seem to play like as if they were in a swimming pool, moving, not rushing. And still, the defender goes here, they go here. The defender jumps, I go down. The defender is like this, I do that. My teammate is like that, I do this. and everything seems to be fluent. Everything seems to have a flow. And long time ago, when I started thinking about these ideas, and the first time I started thinking of this idea was watching a highlight video of Larry Bird. I'm talking about, he was playing in the 80s, and I probably watched that video 1,000 whatever, 2,000 whatever, and I was like, God. One of those days you see things more clear, and you get trapped in the highlights with incredible shots and all that, and then you go, like, it seems like he's 1 second ahead of the actions. Some players have that intuition to anticipate, and that learning process is quick on their minds. Good. But some other people don't. And my question was, what he does, can we teach that? Can we teach that? And we obviously will not get everybody to be like him. But if what he does is good, understanding these factors, why it's not possible to teach that to other players to make them improve and to be as good as they could be? And I started developing simply an idea of how to train. And if you want a player, we have already agreed that making good decisions on the court is what makes the big difference between players. How can we pretend the players will make good decisions on the court, and when we train, we don't train that? If we don't train every drill, every day, with them having to make decisions, they will not learn. They will learn with experience, with time, but they will not learn as a part of a plan in an organized and controlled manner, which is the way you actually are more effective using your time. But how can I pretend my players, there's a 2-on-1 situation here, my teammate is ready to shoot, I beat my man, his man is helping and faking or not faking, stun, and I have to finish, I have to pass. How I pretend this player learns the right moment of the pass, the right technique, the right position of the dribble, the right position of the body, if we don't train that? If we don't train decision making and we just train, you go shooting drill, you drive and kick and you shoot in a mechanical way. The way you practice dictates how they will play. And if you practice mechanically, they will play mechanically. And when something unexpected happens, anything then can happen, anything. You will see the drills. So, first, to me, basic in methodology, create uncertainty. To be able to prepare the players for the uncertainty of games. So the less controlled and set up exercises we can do, the easier, the better for them, and the faster to learn. Plus, there's another thing very important, which is a lot funnier. A lot funnier. A lot easier to be motivated, concentrated, and focused for the players. When I was young, I was tired of doing mechanical drills, repeating. You go, change direction here, change direction there, do this, do this, do this, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat. And repeating something, any skill, the only thing that gives you is that you're going to be very good at repeating it. At that thing. Under those conditions. And if your brain is bright, then you might transfer that to reality. But if it's not, then you won't. It will take a lot more time. Okay? There is what's his name? There's a book called The Talent Code. I don't know if you ever read it. Super nice book. Which basically talks about talent. And what is talent? This is one of the important emphasis points that make me also train how I train. And with this understanding on decision making and all that. Because basically, and I agree with these ideas, basically to me, talent is a very much misused word and misunderstood for many people, and is many times, especially for players and for coaches, used as an excuse for something. And it's not really that important. It's not really that important. In this book, basically, that tells you there's a certain amount of hours that you have to train in any discipline in a focused and organized and motivated manner to develop certain level of ability on that. And that is very much related to what they call intensive training. So intensive training does not happen when you're watching a TV show without thinking. Just relaxing, which is also sometimes necessary. I'm not saying it's not, okay, it is. But if you do a Sudoku, then you're focused, and your brain cells work differently than if you're watching a TV show. That forces your brain process, and that develops a substance that is called myelin that is in the brain that helps to speed up the brain connections, the neuron connections, and that helps to make decisions faster and more accurate. That is proved scientifically, not me, it's proved. I just have the practical proof of my teams, okay? So all these things together told me, how can we practice such a way that you guys are super focused every second? Super focused. That doesn't mean you have to be super intense. There is some days where you have to be super intense, but there's other days that you don't have to be super intense. And for instance, the example is very clear. In EuroLeague, we have every year around 80, 85 games. Because we play 34 regular season games in Europe, 34 regular season games in the German league, that's 68, plus preseason, plus the cup that we have in Europe, plus the playoffs. And it's impossible that in my individual trainings I get a group of guys, I get several guys, and then I practice with them during that season hard, because they get injured, they are tired, and at the end of the day, they have to perform in games. But they have to learn during the season. So you have to find the balance. Some moments are for hard work, demanding physically, and some moments are not for that. And I have fights with our coach, because no, don't practice with this guy, he's super tired. And I tell, why? Oh no, because we have this game, and next week we have 3 games. Well, good. So then, what do you want him not to do? You don't want him to run? Perfect. Let's sit down in a chair. We'll do handles, and we'll work. He won't get tired on the legs. No worries. Or go free throw line. Shoot 300 free throws. You will not get tired running. There's always something you can do. Always something you can do, and you have to adapt and find the right moment. But in all those, this is working. I may not be running, but this is working. And like I tell all the players in my practices, when I started training with them, tell me if the part of the body, when you train with me, the part of the body that you use the most is not the brain, because I'm doing very bad my job. If I don't make you be focused the whole training, I am doing very bad my job. Because I don't want you to know in any drill what is coming, so you can be prepared for games. If you know how to do the drill and when to do it and when to do the action, you know, that's halfway of reality. Again, that's not bad. That's probably better than go to a pub and get 5 beers. But how much that prepares you for the game? And can we do something that prepares us more for the games in the same amount of time, and so that our time is more efficiently used? And this is the question, because we have such a little amount of time to train. And you have to pick how you do things and what you do. But then this is a topic for tomorrow. I want you to see these few clips to see passing. Make decisions make sense and link the actions. Link the actions. And that is individually, but that is as a team. individually and as a team. And you saw there players doing that together, one after the other, and that made the feel of the team super fluent, playing, passing, moving, drive, kick. That didn't seem rushed. And I guarantee you, they play at super high speed. But you don't see it obviously from TV the same way you see in reality. But this is the idea. A few actions of passing of our players. Sorry, let's see that again because this is important and the video got stuck for a second. Okay. Bye. This is a true point guard. That guy on the top of the key. Slovenian national team point guard. This is a point guard. He made 2 incredible plays as a point guard without dribbling. He played a pick and roll with 2 actions of pick and roll without dribbling and created advantage and let the teammate open for a finish. You saw that? Passing at the right time to the right place. Passing at the right time to the right place. See what you see on this clip and in the next few clips. There's a common denominator in all of them. No, my fault. Not in this one, but in the next ones. Just thinking about the passing, okay? Okay, until that. Okay, what is the common denominator of all those clips, the last 7 or 8 clips you saw before? It's easy this time. I'll give you more difficult questions later, but this is easy. One hand. That also, but one hand. Off the dribble, one hand. To me, that is a super important skill to teach. And many times, oh, it's very risky, have turnovers, this and that. Could be true, but it's like everything. If you don't train it and you pretend a player make passes with one hand off the dribble, then it's very likely it's going to go out of bounds, very likely. But if you train a certain way and you practice it every day, then it's not that difficult. And then you gradually eliminate the risk, and you get the most of it, which is passing of one hand off the dribble makes you pass on time many times. That you will not be able to do it if you need to catch the ball to pass. But that's one thing. And the other thing is, one of you stand up, please, there, so you receive my pass. Okay. Let's get in here. I'm making this pass. And let's say you have a defender. And let's say you have a defender. And there's a moment where you're open. But that moment that you're open is only a split of a second that you're open. Because if I try to pass, and then I catch it, and then your defender gets on the passing line, and you're not open, then I can't pass, the offense gets stuck. But then if I have the ability to do this quick, at the right time, to the target, helps a lot. Then, It's not the same if one of you play defense on him. Go to the wing and one of you play defense there. Let's say you open, one of you stay like in a passing line defense. Okay, let's say that I'm bouncing the ball and the ball leaves my hand, I'm dribbling, and the ball goes down, and then at that moment, like you step back and and the passing line is open, but the ball is going down. Shit, I can pass. And I have two options: make a quick bounce, bring the hand down, or wait for the ball to come up to pass, but then that half second might make you come back to the passing line and then it's not there. And if the ball, second option, if the ball, you are open when the ball is coming up. And if you're open when the ball is coming up, it's super easy to make that pass of one hand. Okay? To get to that point, very easy drills to practice. Get a few basketballs and partner up. Stay on the court, please. Partner up. Six of you is good. Just get 6, please. Six players with 3 basketballs. Okay, one of you stay here, and the other one in front of the elbow. And the other 2 of you, just 6 players, please. Another one here, and another one there. So you guys, okay, we'll go back there. Just go with him. This is a distance between you. Very simple drill. You guys dribble, and whenever you want, show in the hand to your partner, and just hit the target as fast as you can. And I will see how you guys do it, and we will intervene after we see that. I prefer not to tell them. I already spoke too much because it's a coach's clinic. So the things I said before could give them a little bit of a hint, okay? But I will not say nothing. I prefer just do it, and I see, I observe. Bang, go. Okay, there are several things here. One, to avoid what I told you before about if he has the hand up when the ball is going down, then you're in trouble. How can we reduce that? That time, how can we reduce the amount of time is not in my hand and is not on the way up? You guys, this is for you, for players. Could be. No, on the dribble. How can you reduce the amount of time the ball is in the air before the pass? Dribble harder. You said pass harder or dribble harder? My fault, then you're right. Okay. So that's one thing, a little lower if you could, and harder. So the ball is less time in the air without control. How can we, that's one thing, good. Second thing, how can we increase the amount of time the ball is in the hand? Because you're doing this. You're doing this. How can we increase the amount of time the ball is in my hand so I can react and the ball is attached to my hand? Everything, when the ball is in the air, I'm in trouble. Everything that happens when the ball is touching my hand, I could have an answer. How can we make the ball longer in the hand? This is the type of dribble you were doing. How can I increase the amount of time the ball is in my hand? Carrying the ball. Simple, stupid, very good, but this is the key. Because now I'm doing this. In 80% of the time, the ball is touching my hand. And if I do this, with the hand on top of the ball, with the hand on the side or with the hand underneath, could be. When you do it with the hand under, try not to do it too much, because the referees might see it, okay? But again, like I was talking to the referees yesterday, I said a couple of things, but my thing is, if they don't call it, do it. How many times at our level the referees don't call this? There's a point guard playing pick and roll and playing like this. And it's clearly carrying, clearly, with the textbook, with the rules, but they don't call it. So do it. Try not to do it illegally, because there is a way of doing it, it's not illegal. And the last thing is, what you said, dribble lower. But dribble lower does not mean you have to dribble like this, because this is hard to pass, hard to balance. Dribble lower means that the ball touches my hand here, but that doesn't mean I can do this with the ball attached to my hand. I don't know if you guys remember a picture Ricky Rubio playing. Everybody knows, I hope, who Ricky Rubio is. And at his prime, he was a master of having the ball in his hands and moving his feet. And Ricky Rubio, personal trainer, is a former player in Spain called Raúl López. Raúl López was the point guard of Gasol team in the early 2000s. I was the first to play in the NBA, first point guard to play in the NBA. 180 point guard, who was fantastic footwork, fantastic hands, and his ability to move the feet with the ball touching the hand, but without carrying it, that made the difference. So like you said, it's not keeping the hands here, it's doing this. I bring the ball up, I touch the ball low. And all the time I move my feet, the ball is in contact with the hand. And if somebody's open, I can pass. If the defenders try to reach, I can maneuver. I can beat that guy. Try to do the same with these ideas I've told you, the same drill. Go. One step back for all of you. Hang, go. Okay, that looks a little better than before, right? At least looks different. You see the idea, right? Good. Now, we're talking about the decision and before the pass. But now, what is happening when the ball is in the air? What is happening with... okay, I'll tell you. I'm falling asleep on every pass because the ball takes like 5 minutes to get to the other side. And in defense, when the defense is good in our opponent, you make that pass, often they steal those passes. It's your responsibility that the ball gets there. And it's your responsibility to catch it. But you have to be responsible for your part, not for the other's part. So there's somebody on defense, but your job is making sure the ball gets there. It doesn't matter how obviously, if you pass super strong and on target, that will help him a lot. And you can make him look better or worse if you don't. But if the pass is soft and somebody touches it, it's your fault, it's not his fault. Understood? Let the ball fly double the speed that what you're doing now. Go. If you hit the guy in the head, if you hit him in the head, I give you 20 euros each. Whoever hit the guy, it's a joke. I didn't bring all that money, but you know, I understand. I give you 20 euros if you hit the guy in the head. Go, go. That guy, no anybody else outside. It's gonna be one of you. Now move your feet both in the same space, but move a little. Receivers and passers, move a little, move your feet. Back and forth, left, right, skip, move, be active. Anything you want. Vamos, quick. Pass faster. You're passing too slow. Go. Fast, va. Quick reactions. Pass the ball quick. Stop. How much of a difference you guys think it could make in a season that if every time they pass the ball, they pass like the last 2 minutes, or if they pass like they passed at the beginning of the drill, when they stepped up on the court? One season passing the ball one way, or one season passing the ball the other way, every pass, on every practice. How much that can affect your team to be better in any set you want. Any offense you want, it doesn't matter. The sets and the offenses are not important. What is important are the skills and the decisions we make with the skills. How much of a difference you can make. You see the difference? Good. Now, you with the ball here, please. You're on free throw line extended. Give me the ball. You guys will, 1, 2, and 3, you go to the other side, you stay here in the elbow. You guys will do the same on this side. I explain here first, okay? So now, we saw a basic drill just to practice the passing and the concept. And it's very important we build from scratch, from really, really low, the ideas and the concept, because otherwise they will not transfer it. They will not learn them. They will not transfer to their game. But I'm running a little too fast, and now we have a 2-on-1 situation. How many times we have 2-on-1s in games? 2-on-1 happens. This is a simplification, okay? This is a clear one, but any 2-on-1 situation that happens in games, I guarantee you there's at least 100 on every game. Because every time there is somebody with advantage with the ball, there's a 2-on-1. Unless the defense don't come and there's a layup, right? But every time there's somebody with the ball, it's a 2-on-1. Beating and with advantage, there's a 2-on-1. And we have to make the decision of the previous drill, but now with him. Because now it gets more complicated. We go from the basics, the first drill we did is not real, it's just to learn the ideas, and now we build into reality, okay? So now 2-on-1, the drill goes like this. You attack the elbow to shoot. And like the sentence I said at the beginning is, shoot when you can shoot, pass if you cannot shoot, or dribble if you cannot do either one. Make sense? So my first goal in this drill, I set up a restriction that I want them to have in order to learn something and to transfer the previous drill into more real situation. So my restrictions are, this guy goes to shoot from the elbow, and you're his defender. But you can use one defender to defend two, so you can do whatever you want. All right, so I'm gonna be driving, and if you get here, I pass. What did I do wrong? Good. Drive, and if there's nothing, boom, I shoot. Okay? If you make your decision, then you commit, pump, and you shoot. This simple drill. And try to apply everything you did in the previous drill. And rotate every time, okay? You guys 3 here, you guys stay on that side. Bang, let's go. Go. Bang. Switch, rotate every time. Go through 2 or 3 times. Bang, eso es, good. Okay, very good. How many of you coaches train kids under 14 or lower? Under 12, under 10, under 8, under 7, whatever. How many of you? Do you think you could do these drills you have just shown with them, with 7, 8, 10-year-olds? We can. Any age. I do it. I have done it with professional players, and I have done it with 10-year-olds. Obviously, you can have different restrictions to make it possible for them to do it. But the foundation is the same. Because in many clinics, I got asked the question, oh, this is very good, but with young children, when do you start working on decision making? I said, since they step on the court. Why waiting? Why? It's not, the first drill, it was okay, but what is funnier? The first drill you did, and then you dribble, and pass me whenever you want. Pass me whenever you want. And then I do this. What is funnier? Do this or do it with the signals of the teammate and now with the defender of the teammate? Any children, any kid of any age, in which type of drill is going to have more fun? Clear, right? And now that we are talking about, thank you, sit for a second, thank you very much. And this, we're talking about technical aspects, and I don't want to go further without emphasizing one thought that comes related to this last thing we said. It's funnier. It's funnier. 99% of the players we will coach in our life will not be professional. In any country, in any environment. And now I'm coaching professional players. I coach some NBA players, some EuroLeague players, are a super low percentage compared to the number of players and children I've coached my whole life. Super low. So now I'm focusing on that, let's say, more elite type of player. But for 25 years, I wasn't. And on those 25 years, my goal should not have been, or wasn't, or I would have liked not to be, let's say, listen to what I'm going to say, make the player better. The goal, in my opinion, to coach children is make the kids enjoy so much so they want to come back the next day, and the next week, and the next month, and the next season. That's the goal. That's the goal. We want them to be in sports. We want them to move, to exercise, to be surrounded by other people, by other children, to have fun with them, to learn to win, to learn to lose, to deal with failure, to have teamwork ethic. All those things are more important. And because of that, this type of drills with any children of any age is a lot more important. Because a kid, and I have 7 and 9-year-old girls, and I watch sometimes their practices because they like it. I don't like to watch it because I am biased by my job. And when I see their coaches doing something, I cannot avoid thinking, oh, that shit, this is good drill, this is bad drill. I swear I try not to do it. But the kids, my girls, some days have a lot of fun, some days they don't. And if they set them in a line, doing boring stuff, not moving, not reacting, just repeating something, they might quit basketball because they don't have a lot of fun. And I don't care how good they are or how good they become. I just want them to have fun, come back, and from their 7 to their 18, at least enjoy playing sports, enjoy playing basketball, so they keep going with it. And doing drills like this make the whole difference. I'm going to show you just an example of one drill I do with mini basket players, because there's some coaches here coaching that age, right? I don't know, you guys have mini baskets here, or you playing high goal, mini basket, right? So thank God, good. One very basic, I'm going to show you 2 or 3, okay? There's a few of you, so I'm going to show 2 or 3 drills. Imagine you are little children, okay? So change your mindset so we can show them drills for kids. Everybody get on the court with a ball, quick. If there's one ball for everybody, if not, to make it more entertaining so you feel the idea of what I'm saying. Everybody in the paint with a ball. If you don't have a ball, then wait a second, okay? I was taught when I was a kid, thank you. That's all right. I was taught when I was a kid to do this change of direction on the chairs or in the cones, doing this, and my coach explained to me the right way of doing it, and this, and this was good. That taught me to do it, but I would never do that now. And the way to teach them how to change direction, how to change speed, how to control the body, and how to react to that. Dribbling is with drills as simple as this. Imagine you can do this 6, 7, 8-year-olds, no problem. I want everybody to be off the paint in the lines, on the lines of the paint. Also out of bounds, forget the basket in this drill. Everybody be outside the zone. Everybody going to the right. You dribble, going to your right, this direction, okay? As fast as you can. All right, ready? Go! Stop. Well, okay, you're still not warm, okay? But it's fine. Where they were looking, now on the dribble, all of them, where were they looking? In front of them or even a little down, maybe because of the lines. If you step on the lines a little, it's not a problem, okay? So you don't have to be like this. Now, if your foot on the line, try not to, but it's not a big deal. If I change my hands like this, you change direction. Off the paint, change direction. And when I say go, you have to cross in the middle of the paint to the other side of the square without touching anybody and without killing the dribble. Through the middle. And there's going to be a moment where all of you are going to be in the middle. And you cannot touch anybody, and you cannot kill the dribble. Any questions? Yes? So if I do this, you go that way. If I do this, you go this way, right? Fine. Go! Stop. What happened? They were doing it right or wrong? They didn't look. Yeah. I changed my arms, and because at the moment, the first time you change, you did good. But right after, on the changing direction, you did this. And at that moment, I changed my hand. And you didn't see it. And this is what happens in games. Sometimes we have a defender. This is the game situation that happens. I'm playing one-on-one. I beat my man. And I beat my man like this. And there is the first help coming, the second help rotating in the baseline on the other side. And if I do this, and now I get my hand up one step after, or one dribble after, I might bump into this, and I might not see the second help. But if I do this, beat the person like that, I'm beating this guy, recognizing first help, recognizing second help, and I can make the pass to anybody. That's why it's so important that at the moment of changing the hands, this is the moment where you have to have the hand up. It's very easy for everybody to do this, walking and passing. You proved it before. But at the moment of changing direction, we all have an instinct of doing this. How many times you have seen me, or you have heard me in the first drill we did, telling them, get your eyes up, don't look at the ball when you dribble. The very first dribble we did, you were in front of each other like this, and when you show the hand, you have to pass, right? When you were doing that dribble, none of you were looking like this. You all were looking at there. I didn't have to correct one time. Hey, look up. How many times in your practices you tell the players, hey, don't look at the ball. Look at the teammates. You're dribbling looking down. I've done it my whole life, so it happens everywhere in the world. How many times we do that? I did not waste my energy on telling them, get your eyes up, look at the basket, look at the teammate. I created a situation so they have to do something and apply a skill. And it was fun, it was good. You didn't feel like this guy is crazy. We were just doing a drill that forced you to be with the eyes up and with the head up. You were not looking at the ball. When you drop it, you cut it, but it was like that. Understood? You guys have to create environments where you force them to apply the skill. And this is the thinking of the coach. And this is why it's so important, the preparation of the drills, to create those environments so they do execute, they execute the skill we want them to learn. Right? Super important. Let's go again. Go. That way, that way, that way, that way. Yep. Vamos, fast, fast. Go take over other people. You don't need to be behind anybody. If you're faster than others, just go over. Go! Venga, va. Let's go. Go! Turnovers. Okay, stop. Okay, stop. You see what I mean? Create an environment where first they have to change direction. Hello? Hello? I think the battery is off. I think the battery is off. Give you 2 minutes to rest a little, okay, and write some notes if you want. Situation where, without me telling you, hey, don't look at the ball, look up, you have done it because you were forced to do it because the drill was in a certain way, okay? Change direction. Second, control the body. If we have a competition, the same drill, but the last one to get to the other side gets eliminated. It's out of the drill until we have a winner, okay? Ready? Go this way, vamos, go. Go! Okay, stop. Good. Good example. Good example. So now we created, just by making it competitive, we created a little bit more of stress and they have to rush a little more. And your knowledge as a coach is to include the competitiveness of the drills to the extent that you can control that technically is still good. Because when they compete, as a human, everybody wants to win, and you tend to forget the things that you're trying to do. So you have to gamble with that and make the decisions as a coaches. But the reality, that was faster and more intense. And that created more difficulty to attack, stop, control, go this way, stop, control, go this way, which is what you do in games. What you should do in games when you drive is control your body, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Understood? Clear, coaches? This is the idea. This drill is very funny for children, but you can see it's also funny for other people. And another drill, just to finish off with, I want everybody to be on that red line facing this way. No, in this red line, my fault. Here, this red line. Another drill I do with children, and they love it. They love it. It's called, how is it called in English? It's like, what's the name you guys have when you go to the fair and you shoot something or you throw the balls at something, whatever it's called, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that type of thing. So imagine you're 7, 8-year-olds. We don't do the drill, I just explained to you. Okay? I don't want to die here today, all right? So the drill with the children is very simple. You dribble the ball. If I point at you, you have to try to hit me. Okay? Dribble the ball, all of you. If I look at you and I point at you, you try to hit me. But off the dribble with one hand, like we saw before. Okay? Again, we will not do it. You're safe, okay? Anymore. But imagine with children how much fun they do with this, they make with this. And I go like this, and suddenly I point at this guy, and you try, oh, point for him. And the kids get all happy. You go like this, pump. And if they catch it with 2, you tell them, nope, that's not valid. I give them points. Whoever gets to 3 points or 4 points, whatever, they get a motivation to execute the skill, which is pass off the dribble with one hand. And you, as coaches, thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Just sit, please. And it's just 2 quick examples of creating a situation, an environment where they have to apply the skill, which is the passing of the dribble at the right time. at the right time. Because when the coach is there and they try to hit the coach, if they do this very slow, they will never hit me. So they learn without me telling them anything. They learn that if they do this quick, it's better. And if they do this super quick and super hard pass, it's a lot funnier for them. Because they hit you and they go, ah, and they start laughing, which is obviously one of the reasons why we do it. And we combine what I told you before for children. First goal, make them smile, make them laugh, make them have fun, make them enjoy, so they want to come back the next day. And if you think at home, before going to practice, to prepare drills, to think about how I'm going to do this, how I can do this drill, how can I do this, it will work. And if it doesn't, you change it, and the next day you do something else. And this is the mistakes you make, the mistakes I have made to learn to coach. Okay? See you guys in 5 minutes. Okay? Have fun. Regarding the main ideas regarding methodology and general thoughts. Now, the next parts of the clinic is going to be around one-on-one. And these clinics, there's so many things to talk about. And I have to decide according to Alejandro and according to my thoughts, the things that could be more useful for you. And I think I really love everything related to one-on-one, and I want to show you how I work on that, okay? And it's a little bit different from how many other coaches work. First, don't forget what I have already told you about decision-making, reacting, preparing, all these things. But now we're going to divide the work in 3 parts. One is every one-on-one has 3 parts we can talk. Creating advantage, maintaining the advantage, and finishing the play. Okay? 3 parts. First one we're going to talk is about creating the advantage. And what do we look? Give me the ball, please. I'm playing, I have the ball in my hands. I'm going to play my one-on-one. What are my priorities? What are my priorities? I use this drill that I'm going to show you now to help players of any age to understand. And sometimes I have done it with the EuroLeague players, because when they come to us, in my mind, some, they make things too complicated. Okay? So, to work on this, I tell the players, okay, we're going to work today on your one-on-one. And the player goes, yeah, finally, I get to work on this thing that I love, this one-on-one, because this is what is nice. I tell them, okay, first part of the drill, do the easier one-on-one that you can think of. And one of you, here, please, thank you, go. And get the ball there. And what is the easier? Just do any move you want one-on-one. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Right? Pretty decent. Because that was simple enough. But there is something easier and more simple than that. Right? Then shoot it. Okay? So that is the one-on-one. And that is the learning for you, the one-on-one. I want to work on my one-on-one. Then work on your shooting from a position where you can score. Work on your one-on-one. Good. There's a lot of pressure now, with all these people watching. It's not that easy to make that shot. Okay, so now, and this is not normal. You can tell he's got a little bit of a coach inside. But normally when I tell to the players do this. Or, even better, when I talk to post players, I tell them from the post, any move you want in the post. Simple move. I tell, good, this is good. The most simple move that you can make, which is catch and shoot. And if the players on your team understand that that is the best way to help the team, everything changes. Catch the ball in a position where you can score. If I don't get to the basket from here, try not to catch the ball too many times here. In some offenses it's necessary, but try to catch it in a position where you can shoot. Second part of the one-on-one. What could you do if the defender is in your face and you cannot shoot? Because your move is catch and shoot. Your counter. What is your counter move? Show me anything. Do it without trouble this time. Without troubling. Perfect. Okay, so one dribble and pull up, for instance, right? Or one dribble and lay up like you did before. Simple. So when I work with the players in developing their one-on-one, we start. I give you the ball. 5 shots. Venga, boom. 1, 2, 3, 5 shots. After we take the 5 shots, I tell them, imagine we've taken already 5 or 10, whatever you want. Thank you. Now I tell you, counter, you cannot do this. But you did something different. Another time you went to the left, to the right. You're right-handed, right? So what is the most simple thing? So you would, if you can choose, you probably would try to go to your strong hand drive, right? Okay, counter, and you do that a few times, 5 times. And now, third part of the drill. You don't know what I'm going to do, so you have to do either one. You didn't make a layup, now you did a pull-up after 2 dribbles. And this is, thank you, this is important. Thank you, sit please. He did shoot, dribble left, dribble right, pull up with 1 bounce or pull up with 2 bounces. He did 4 different things. That's bad. No, it's not bad. It's not bad. When you're trying to teach something, I would focus on 2 or 3 very simple things and make him choose between them. For instance, it's not the same. Catch a ball like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. Affects your pivoting and how the first step is going to be. I would say, depending on the player, choose. Hop, a little hop to get both feet at the same time on the ground, so he can choose the pivot foot. Bam. And shoot, and if you cannot shoot, go to my strong hand. Good. But sometimes the defender don't allow you to go to your strong hand, and if you cannot dribble, the defenders are good enough to send you to the weak hand. In the drill, in the third part of the drill, like this, or like this, and then you choose the type of finish you want to practice with them, but give him one. If you want to practice today, pull up after 1 bounce, but then tomorrow maybe you do pull up after 2 bounces, and maybe the day after tomorrow you go all the way layups. But for the learning, it's better if you give them organized way of doing things until they learn it. So they get the technical aspects right. But still, they have to choose between 2 or 3 different things. On one-on-one, to me, there's always been 2 criteria. Should I attack left or should I attack right? All the time, reading and reacting what the defense is giving me. There's 2 concepts I have there for you. A straight line to the basket or front hand. Always, to me, priority is a straight line. So whenever I have a straight line to the basket, go. Try to have, if you can, to the a strong hand if you can. But in the learning process with younger players, Sometimes on purpose, we want to go only weekend. This is something I will tell you tomorrow about the planning and organization. I don't want to get into that. But a straight line to the basket, priority number 1. Priority number 2, attack the front head. The one they're challenging the shot with, and go to that side. And sometimes it's not that clear. Get the ball here, please. Come back there. I'm defending you, so you are in the triple threat, ready to shoot. And sometimes I'm like this, then you go that way, come back. Sometimes I'm like this, you go that way. And sometimes, because the defender is not in the right position, might be doing this. And the right thing would be to go there, but this is more straight, because his awareness is not good, he's not closing out, he's coming from the top, who knows. In this conflict, I always choose the straight line, the shorter ways to the basket as the first main criteria to attack, okay? Thank you. Have a look at the video. And now, when the big, first is attacking the front leg on his man. So they have stopped him on that side. So he went to the big. Now he's attacking the big. And the big shows, making one of the mistakes that often the big shows, that is lose a little bit of balance on that. But his right hand is a little bit in front. So he reads that or provokes that and then attack that front leg. This is one of our players, Johannes Thiemann. Is a German national team player. One of the players was in the roster, won the World Cup last year, where Canada was very good too. So JT here does magnificent this. That low dribble. You see the word there, I call that Navarro dribble. I don't know if some of you might not, obviously might not know who is that. It's a Spanish player already retired called Juan Carlos Navarro. He played with the Memphis Grizzlies 1 year, but he's a legend in Europe. He's a legend in EuroLeague in Barcelona. He's a sports director now anyway. But Navarro was super good at floaters. Was so good that Steph Curry, at the beginning of his career, used him as a model to play one-on-ones. He said that in interviews, not me saying it. And Navarro has a couple of signature things. One is that first dribble, and second is the floaters. And that first dribble, we worked a lot with our pros, but we work a lot with under 18s, under 16, to make sure the players don't travel. And I do that a lot with American players or Canadian, North American players that come to Europe because they have different habits, and they normally are like this, and they normally do this. Okay, so to work on this, that you see now, that bouncing the ball without moving the pivot foot, with the left foot still on the ground, that, give me the ball, please. Yep. That, I'm like that, triple threat, and just do this, or from here, do this, put the ball on the ground first and move your feet after, prevents you from traveling. Plus, it's very quick. Once you get the ball on the ground, you can chase the ball, and you're fast doing that. There's certain ways of doing it, but we work on this now, but I don't know how much importance that will lose in the future, because I think the NBA rule of the traveling is going to end up applying everywhere in the world. So that might not be a topic, but until then, we've been working on this the last few years to avoid the traveling and speed up the first step.
On that last footwork that you caught it left, right. I understand why would you do that first dribble going right, but going left, you can cross step. Why would you waste your dribble there and expose the ball to the defender instead of just cross step and ball?
Yeah. I understand. Okay, I'm like this. So you're saying to go this way, right? The thing is that I don't want, you say wasting the dribble on the same spot, and this is not what I want to do. When I'm like this, I can do this, I can do this. If I am to this side, many players practice keeping the ball on the left hip, and many players practice keeping the ball on the right hip, okay? But this is another topic. In both cases, I still want to go forward. So if I do this, I still want to do this. Or if I do this, I still want to go this. So I'm not staying in the spot. I'm still moving. And as I cannot control the defender reaction, I want to give the player a possibility from here or from here, which I can do this or I can do that, to move from a position where he can actually go, okay? And first, normally the ball here is not realistic, so it's either like this or like that, okay? And you create the habit of doing this, you will save a lot of trouble. A lot of traveling. A lot of trouble, but a lot of travel as well. And if the players, in my experience, they all know how to do this. What they have to learn is to do this or to do this. On the same way on the layups. I'm mixing up topics, but we have to teach them certain things, otherwise they will not learn. Okay? And did you get any of these guys? They cross and they dribble like that good. I'm not against that. I'm not saying you don't have to do it. No, not at all. But I'm telling, if you learn to do this, with time, they will feel comfortable and they will not trouble. Okay? That means they have to do only that. No, they don't. They don't. Okay? And from this position, you can do, from this hip or this hip, from here, you can do anything. You can go like this. You can jab and go like this. You can jab and go like this. You can jab and go like this. You can just go straight with the same hand. There's a million things you can do. But in any case, get distance with the dribble. Move with the dribble. One of the things I emphasize a lot on the practicing is the problem of not moving the feet on the bounce, or not going somewhere with the bounce, okay? And this is important. I don't know if I answered your question a little. Okay. Some are a little trouble because there is a little sliding on the pivot foot, on the catch, like this last one. This is one of our players, Gabriele Procida, that playing with the national team in the windows. You see? Bam. Dribble quick to avoid that trouble. And he was called yesterday the rising star of the EuroLeague, the best young player in EuroLeague this season. And they're working on that topic. Okay, this is another thing to work on that one-on-one, very useful to attack the players without moving the feet when they have ball pressure on the ball. A lot of offenses in the EuroLeague start with this high post entry, and when the defender gets close and gets the hands there, just to work on this, just rip through, go there, and go against their arms, gives a lot of fouls, and if it doesn't move, then it still could go, okay? But it's a lot of fouls on this. It's a way to protect the player against illegal defensive pressure. Now, it's same with the guard, getting the foul. And now, reading that front leg. Look at the front leg, okay? He creates the disadvantage. This is an opponent on us, okay? He attacked here the front leg, make him slide, and now attack the front leg and find the gap, okay? It's not that easy. It's not that easy, but it's super, give you a huge advantage to attack, understanding that a straight line, easier, and we will talk on the finishes about the straight line, but one-on-one to create advantage, attack that front leg, which is the same as front hand. I say sometimes hand, sometimes leg, but it's the same thing. Drills to learn to do this, very simple. Let's say 2 of you here, please. 2 of you. No, actually get 3 of you with a ball. 3 of you with a ball. 1 of you there more or less in front of the elbow, middle, and in front of the elbow. Okay, get ready to play triple threat, ready to shoot, ready to play, ready to pass. If I do this, you have to jab with this foot. If I do this, you have to jab with this foot. If I do this, you have to cross pivot to that side. And if I do this, you have to cross pivot to that side. Okay? For the purpose of the drill, obviously this is trouble, but for the purpose of the drill, we're going to use this to teach them to be balanced and under control on this triple threat to attack with both feet in both directions. Okay? Now, without dribble, we build from the simple to the more complicated. Ready? Triple threat. Same foot. Good. Okay. The idea of the feet, good. But now, the ball has to be on the hip, not in the middle. In the game, any good defender will touch it. So either you have it here or here. You choose. It doesn't matter to me. Ready? Good. And now, ball in the middle again. Keep trying to go. When you go this way, side. When you go this way, move the ball. Crisp and aggressive to the hip. I'm saying too many little things, okay? I hope you can write it down and get it useful for you. But now, if I do this, this is a shot. From this position, shoot it. Ready? You saw, this is how funny is this? You shot wrong because this is not this. And you shot because he shot. You know he was wrong and you still shot. I'm right? And you said, shit, I'm not shooting. This is not right. Okay. Ready, react quick is super important, but it's more important make the right reaction. I give you all this shit, all these things to make you react quick and stay focused on doing it right. If you react quick and it's wrong, you're going to have turnover in the game. Ready? Ready? Fast. Do it. Get ready? Ready? Good? Bang. Oh, my fault, my fault. Bang. Ready? Again? Good. All right, very nice. And now you can see if the test for you is if when the guys are here and you do the shot signal, they actually can shoot without moving their feet, it's because they were in a good balanced stance. Many times I do this drill and the players after a couple of steps, I tell them to shoot and then they go. Take a little step to accommodate themselves to shoot. And that is the main correction we got to do here, is because this is made to help them find that balanced stance that allows you to play. And you have to work on this every day so you get the habit of every time you catch the ball, you're like this. You're coming off a screen, you're setting the screen and pop. You are running in a fast break to stop. If every time you land in this position with whatever the footwork is, but you land in that, you would be able to do all the options, turnovers less likely to happen, shooting percentage higher, because you're teaching your body a balanced way of doing it. Understood? Okay? Now we change the signals. If I do this, it's a jab to that side with the foot of that side. A jab. Okay? Ready? If I tell you this or this, now it's not a jab, now it's a dribble. With the foot that you have to, but you dribble and pull up a shot after that. Understood? Ready? Triple threat, ready to play. Ball in the hip, whatever you feel better with, left or right, up to you. Jab and back, good. Jab and back, good. Make me believe the jab. Make me believe. and pull up a shot. Bang. Good. We're still learning the drill. 1 or 2 now means you start moving this foot or this foot, but you actually bounce the ball, you take it, and you take a shot, okay? In 1 and 2, you end up with a shot. In the others, don't, and this, obviously, you shoot as well. Ready? Travel. You realized? Bang. Keep trying. Ready? Triple threat. Ready? I tried to mess them up a little bit on that one. Huh? I made it really tough. I'm going to make it a little easier for you. Ready? Perfect. This is jab and 2 crossing. And this is crossing or foot of the same side. I said 2, yeah, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. Ready? Travel. You saw the type of dribble we were working on, we saw on the clips. That prevents you from any of this. You can jab in any direction you want. The most difficult is the one that you jab this side, and I tell you 1 to go to that side because you have to move this foot first. The only way of doing it is if you dribble quick. And there's 2 ways of doing that. It's this, like this, or this, and this. It doesn't matter. But find ways like this to get them off balance so they learn to stay under control and without traveling. Next step on the progression of this drill is to make it competitive. We play to 3 points. Every make count 1 point, but only the first to score gets a point. And you only have 1 shot. No rebounds, nothing. So you do the move right, and you all 3 shoot. If one, and you all 3 score, the first scoring is the only one that gets a point. Okay? Clear? Ready? Yeah, I said this, but you still can shoot. You still can shoot. You made it, you're going to have a point. Well, you wouldn't because you move your feet and you move your foot too. Stance, ready to play. 1 point for you. Ready? Stance, ready to play. One point, 1-1-0. Ready? Stance. Yeah, it's good. You can do it from there. It's fine. You can move anywhere you want. It's fine. Ready? Point, 2-1-0. Ready? Good. 3. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Sit, please. Thank you. Thank you. Have a seat. Okay, an example of very simple drill to teach them to make that first bounce in a certain way and to make them making decisions so they end up understanding that idea after. Next step on this, always the hand signals for me are basic for teaching them the basics and why. But the next step of this is I give you the ball and in front of you, if you can shoot, shoot. If I do this, this. If I do that, that. Some days we work only on 1. Some days we work on 2. Some days we work on both. But first step, signal. Second step, the real defender. We will see tomorrow more about that. Real defender. And third step, life. And you guys try to apply that life with a teammate and then playing for real. That, again, you choose the restrictions you want to have on your players so they can apply. And as they are doing it right, go on. Get complicated. Don't let them do it right a lot. Just let them get it right a little so they get that confidence built up. But if they do it right and they stay too long doing it right without complications, the brain starts resting and that's not good. You have to keep pushing that ceiling to get that better and better and better, okay? Very important, don't let them feel If we can say it this way, don't let them feel good too much. If we can say it this way. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? Okay. Next thing, we talk about a little bit of creation, the advantage, and now we're talking about maintaining the advantage. First, I'm going to show you a few clips, and then we talk about it. Let me what you see on the next few clips. Okay, everybody see? All these next 4-5 clips are stopped in the middle of the action for a reason. This is not even one of our players. The pass could be a little better. Others. Eyes, decision, feet, and hands. And that highlight video of Larry Bird I told you before, what it was amazing to me was how it's not only that he saw in advance what was going to happen, which you have to have that instinct, but that is very closely related to the quickness of the brain. But even when he did not react before or anticipated the action, he was doing the next action real quick. Okay? And this is what I told you at the beginning. This is the basic foundation of what we practice in order to achieve this. In order to achieve, how can we make a good player great? How can we make a bad player average? How can we make an average player good? And we might not get Larry Birds, but we might get everybody to improve their own standards, their decisions, and their knowledge and their awareness. How we train this? Very simple. Two of you here, please. You will see a few more clips after we talk a little bit about that, but I need two of you, one of you on the elbow, one of you on the other elbow, in front of each other. Give me the ball, please. Venga, face each other, elbow to elbow. Both feet in both sides of the black line there that is joining you. Okay, good. I want you to start passing to each other with this ball. Have your hands like this and pass to each other, but looking at each other in the eyes. You cannot follow the trajectory of the ball. You have to catch and pass with one hand. Stop. Right or wrong? Some of you are watching, some of you are behind and you cannot see. What are the restrictions I gave you in the drill? I will look at the eyes. You're doing it? Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, pass to me, to either side. You look at the ball, pass to me. You're looking at the ball. You're going to try to catch me now. You're going to throw the ball strong now, eh? Okay. What happened to him happens to many players. Because you don't want to drop it, you make the drill wrong. And you cheat. Because you don't want to drop it, which is genuine. But this is another foundation of my methodology. You guys, as players, have to understand that you guys have to make mistakes. You have to make the mistake. You have to drop the ball. If you don't drop it 10 times, you will not learn. And you will keep catching it like that, but this is nothing what I said, what you saw in the video. This is nothing different. Catching the ball, pass to me, look at the ball. I mean, what is the difficulty of this? Pass, catch, and keeping the eyes on me and catching this is what makes it a little challenging, okay? And drop it. Tell the players, make mistakes. And when they make the mistakes, you have to smile. It's not good if you tell them, hey, my guy's got to make the mistake. And then he makes the mistake and you go nuts. That doesn't believe you. Everything is a process. And until the point where you do this in games, it takes a lot of time. So as a coach, I don't want to tell you, okay, we're practicing this, but this Saturday, I want you to do this in the game. This is stupid. Because you will lose confidence on what you're doing. You will lose confidence on me. And we will not be effective doing something we are not prepared for. We got to give time and learning. Things take time. So practice this drill, again, this way. Technical aspects, they were doing it. Do it again. Let's see if you see one thing, they do it again, and we can talk about it. Okay? Okay? Stop. What happened in this last catch here? What did you hear? Yeah, this pass. And this is different than this. It's totally different than this. In some of your catches, you do this, and in some of you do this. And some of them, you hear this, and some of them, you don't hear anything. This is totally different than this. And when you hear the palm, you're very likely to have a problem. Very likely, because there is a defense. Now you're not moving. But in the game, you're moving, there's somebody hustling, you're tense because you're playing a game, your heart rate is up. So now, we have to try to do it perfect so we can transfer that to reality. Try to do the same, but you see the shape of my hand? The only way the ball can touch my palm is if my fingers are like this. If my fingers are in front of the palm, the ball will not touch the palm. Just not possible. If I do this, so when the ball is approaching, I want you to see you see my hand? Your hand from like this. At the moment of the ball flying, I want your hands, your fingers, to do this. And try to squeeze it. Try to really activate your fingers. Extend your arms. Pass a little bit to the side. Don't pass to the body. Venga, keep trying to make that effort. And drop a ball. It's not a problem. Please help me to drop it one time. You're following the ball. Now you're playing safe. Faster. Muy bien. Muy bien. You're following the ball. You're afraid of losing the ball. Stop. You understand my point? Okay? Lose it. It's okay losing it. That was a lot better now. A lot better now. Now, one drill to activate the hands, because some players have problem doing this. And I've trained Spanish national team players, not like senior level, national team players, that they were unbelievably bad catching the ball under the basket. We have to train these type of things with children, with any age. How you catch the ball is a lot more important than how you dribble it. A lot more. This guy, I was working, so he hired me one summer to work with him, and he didn't tell me, I didn't even tell him. I was watching the video, and I observed that his hands, when he did not have the ball, his hands were like this. He did not have relaxed the hands. He was like this. So he was in baseline, it was a big center. He was in the baseline, the other were playing just to finish the play, and he was like this. His hands were like this, super tense here, super tense. So when the ball is coming, he activated, and that influenced a lot how to catch the ball, because he was not relaxed, he was not ready. A very simple drill I did with him to learn to do that. Well, first I thought, and I explained to him, he did that because he did not control it. So first I wanted to teach his hands and his fingers to do what he wanted them to do. And I was just doing a very simple drill, sitting on a table. And imagine this is a table, and I'll do it here. So I was in a table like this, and you go here, go in front of me. You have to move the same fingers I move, okay? So we start only with one hand, only this hand. You don't have to raise the whole hand, eh? that finger is not broken, right? Okay, So I started doing simple drills like this to activate the hands. Another drill, this is for you. I want you to close your eyes. Extend your arms. Extend your arms. Trust me, don't worry. I will touch with the ball one part of your arm, either hand or either arm. Might be here, might be here, might be here, might be there. And I want you to catch it as fast as you can with the fingertips, somehow. So if the ball is touching here, then you will quickly do that. But just try to catch it as quick as you can. Close your eyes, extend your arms a little more, like that. Ready? That's super slow. Faster. Activate. Good. Good. That's the best one. Close your eyes. Good. Faster. You need faster reaction. Good. Good. Okay. That's it. Just this drill is also to help them to react fast and opens the door for what I call there the blind catch, which is the ability not to look at the ball when we are catching the ball. And any drill we make up where our eyes don't help the hands to catch the ball will help you improve your grip and your handles a million times more than if you have your eyes helping the hands. Second part of the drill, in the first one we did, you look at the eyes. Good, easy. Now, after a few minutes, then you can do it easy. Second part of that drill, we change this. So we go from here. I'm going to pass you left or right. You can follow the trajectory of the ball until around is halfway. And when the ball is halfway, you have to look to the other wall, to that side, extend the arm, look at the wall, and trust yourself on catching it without seeing the ball. I'm crazy, eh? Pass to me either left or right. Good, pass to me either left or right. And this happens sometimes. Ready? Perfect. My fault, I did it wrong. Perfect. The ball, practice it a little bit. While I talk, keep doing it. Extend your arms. Good. Catch the ball without the help of the eyes. And all these situations where you touch it a little, you touch the ball a little and you're not seeing it, and then you make that effort to catch it, the improvement for the grip on those actions, pass a little stronger, get a little closer, get a little closer. Bang. Yeah. Venga. Go. Super. Pass a little stronger. To the side, not to the body, to the sides. One step back each. Now make a bounce pass, and you can follow the trajectory of the ball until the ball touches the ground. Muy bien, pass stronger. Super. No, but don't turn to catch it. All this effort to catch it is going to help you improve more, a lot faster. Faster pass. Muy bien. Super, but don't turn to see it. When you do this, still try to do this. Remember, we are learning. It's okay if they drop it. And to do this in the games, they have to start with this and build from this. Okay, another drill for you to improve this. How we deal with the ball and with the hands only with one hand. I'm going to teach you how to play tennis. And the tennis game we'll play here. Okay, come this side. The court, this is the net, the red line. Your baseline is the black line. Your baseline is the black line there. And the sideline is this white and the baseline. Okay, this is the court. This is your court, this is your court. The game is like this. You pass, let me show. I have to make the ball bounce on my court and then on your court. And you have to catch it, maneuver, and pass back to me with the same, hitting the ball first on your court and then on my court. If I cannot give it back to you, or the ball bounces twice, or the ball touches my body, I lose the point, okay? Not necessarily. And do it. It bounces out, so it's 1 point for me. Has to bounce in both courts. Ready? And the ball touches your knee. When you did this, the ball touched your knee, so it's point for me, 2-0. Yeah, I'm sorry. 2 hands, you lost the point, 3-0. You know what I'm saying, right? And practice a little bit with each other. Go, go. So you see the drill. You can, didn't bounce on your court. 1-0. You caught it before the second bounce. 2-0. No. Plus, if you let it bounce, it's going to bounce outside. It was going to be your point. Good. Dude, two bounces, point for him. You should have given it back before the second bounce. Yeah. I didn't say my fault. My fault. Yeah, you can move your feet and step in. And if you throw it strong, give me the ball. You move back 2 meters. Move back 2 meters. It's not a problem to move back and like this and pass it and move your feet. You can do it. Man, go. Eh? Nope. See, the guys always can dribble. They want to dribble all the time. You don't have to come back to throw it. Eh? You can throw it from here if you want. You can step in there. Out of bounds. Okay, 2-2. Okay, let's see who wins. Let's go. Now they're getting into it. Vamos. A little stronger. Vamos, faster. It seems you don't want to win. Good. And you should have let the ball bounce. Good, good, good. Okay, okay, good. Sit. Very simple drill to learn and with something funny to get the guys to maneuver. I do have the drill, and I'm going to show you a clip. I'm going to show you this clip. This is, no, this is not. And this is, here in that circle, you see, the guy there. This is Franz Wagner, is Orlando Magic player. With the other guy is me. A few years ago, when he came with us to our first team, he was 16 and a half when he was playing with our professional roster already. I do this drill to help him to maneuver with this. Throw the ball against the wall. This drill has 3 steps. One he's doing now is a little bit of like a 1.5 meters against the wall. You put your eye on one point, and you don't follow the ball. And you just throw the ball like this, like he's going to be doing in a minute. I explained to him. You see, he drops it, bam. And then he starts passing it stronger, bam, 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 bam. Oh, shit. He makes a lot of mistakes. Then, second part of the drill, he's taking 2 steps back. And now do the same drill from 3 meters, from 2-3 meters. Boom, 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 boom. Hard passes. Then I am on the side, and I start giving him pass signals. Sometimes I show the hand, sometimes I don't. So when he's doing this passing, and this last part, he drops it, because the third part of the drill, he's got to do the first part with the eyes closed. So he gets 1 meter from the wall, and he does this with his eyes closed. And this one, I don't give him signals, obviously. But again, doing the cuts and the passing without the help of the eyes to help the coordination and the touch. Then we transfer this to the reality. And then I give him signals at the moment of the catch. You saw in one of our clips before, Matt Thomas, one of our shooters, former Orlando Raptors player, doing exactly that. Coming off a screen and doing this, which is what you guys were doing. Like this, looking other side, but applied to a real situation. So now Franz is doing this, And if I show him the hand, ready, I'm going to throw the ball. If I show him the hand down in the post, and you guys here, come and help me. Go in the post. Go in the post, please. First, to increase the difficulty, first I make him pass to himself, so he control a little more how the ball is approaching. Then I will start passing, you will see. So I was the coach, I was you, so you're the coach. On the catch, if you show me the hand, then, bam, I pass the ball. I'm the coach, I wasn't doing it. And your instinct is go and dunk it. My instinct of dunking, I forgot that a long time ago. If on my this, you point at this side, you point down, then I do this. Oh, shit. I got a little bit. Yeah, I can tell. Oh, it's working. Dribble and pass. Coming off the handoff to shoot, keep doing another thing. Different actions. And now we're working on finishes too. As soon as he got this first part right, then we started working on Euro steps, on finishing left, left, right, right with the same foot, etc. Yep.
Just a simple question. On that left side, like, it seems like you emphasize the catch on one hand, but when you catch the ball like that, like, you don't catch to shoot when you catch the ball like that. But when you caught him, when you put him on the other side, he caught it, both hands, ready to shoot. Do you ask your player to catch the ball one hand?
Yeah, on doing these drills, for sure. Always. Try to apply and to complicate from this to more real. And then we will do it with defenders, he cannot control if the ball is coming too far, too close, if he's ahead, if he's behind. So he's got to keep trying. And sometimes he would be able to go catch and shoot, and sometimes he won't. But trying to improve the hands and trying to improve the coordination of doing that, to me, is worth enough to try to do it like this. If I give him these signals, he also could shoot. So he's got to catch it and look, because he might have to shoot right away. With another player, we would make another player to pass, and I would be in different positions giving the signals. So he's got to control coming up down the screen, maybe looking at me in the post. Maybe sometimes I am the screener, and when I roll, I give him the signal or not on the roll. So he has to look at the screener, which is very close to reality, that you guys play down the screens, and the decisions you made at the moment of the catch could be influenced by the screener and by the defense of the screener very much, okay? So we just try to find different ways to complicate that. Always, I tell the guys, and this is for the shooting, if you don't know what to do, you should shoot. So the shot is always the priority number one. And you have to get the footwork in such a way that you could fairly quickly get ready to shoot in a balanced position, fairly, okay? And you don't need 3 steps to come back to ready to shoot. But if so, get balanced. I don't want to shoot like this and then, oh, I shoot like that, no. Try to be as balanced as possible, and if you need 1 more second to shoot, take 1 more second to shoot. This is, for tomorrow, I had a little bit of our talking only about shooting and how I teach shooting and how I correct shooting, okay? I don't want to get too much into this, but this is the idea. Oh, no, okay, we're working just on the finish. Okay. Come back to the other one. Okay, a few more clips with this idea. Now our shooter number 9 coming off the screen. He came off the screen, he wasn't looking early enough, and he put the ball on the ground right away. He had a good opportunity to shoot. But this is a habit I try to take away from players a lot, because I think it's a very bad habit to have, which is the habit of doing this. You do that when it's good, but if it's not good, the habit of dribbling the ball right away without recognizing is not good, because you often lose opportunities to shoot like our player on that case. And this one had a little bit of advantage, opportunity to shoot, shoot. More applications of that catching. At the moment of the catch, he's trying to see the open court, to see the teammate. One of the situations I practice the more with our guards is the outlet passes and the fast break decisions, because this is super important to work in a team that wants to run. If we practice doing the fast break drills, catch a ball, this is totally different than practicing if I do this. Totally different, changes the team. So, by practicing drills like before, you get the habit of doing that. That doesn't mean you force them to do that. And in the game, I didn't tell this guy or any other guy, oh no, you try to practice this. No, no. When you work on this or another skills for a certain amount of time, after a while, becomes natural. And when that becomes natural and is part of them, they will start doing it without thinking. And when they start doing that without thinking, they will apply in practice to real situations, and they will apply in games without thinking, and it will be effective. But it's a process of doing something with a purpose and give it time so it can be interiorized. Until you guys interiorize and it's not part of you, and then you feel happy and comfortable about any skill, you will not do it effectively in games. This is a few examples of that now. The same. The ball is coming here for team, the shooter, and you see at the moment of catching it, he's identifying the position of the defender. He's not getting, his eyes are not on the ball, his eyes are on the closeout. This is easier because the pass is coming from here and the defender is from here, so I don't need to move too much. The outlet pass is a lot more difficult because the ball is coming from here and the action is doing there, so I have to do this. Okay? You see, this is how much easier is this. Understood? Any questions? Clear? Okay? If you practice it and practice it and practice it, even if they don't do it a lot earlier in advance and they don't move the eyes early, they will get the habit of trying and they will be looking for others. And even if they do it after the catch, they look, already just that gives the team a better passing habit, a better awareness of togetherness. And we encourage the passing and the sharing the ball just by doing that, even if it's not earlier than the catch, and it's at the same time or even a little after the catch, like in this case. So catches, identify, and shoots. This is Tomas Satoransky from Barcelona doing the same as we practice. He's catching the ball in transition, but he's looking at the defender. And that gives him a split of a second to identify the help, don't charge the person, get a jump stop, and get a quick reversal. Here, our player Maltedelo on that too is catching the ball. You see, when he's catching, he's already looking at who is open. And on the landing, he's already made the decision. That's why in the first thing, in the first title, I put eyes, decisions, hand, and feet. In this one, he's catching it, he's deciding, and he's doing this. But if the other player, Satoransky, was arriving, catching, looking, jump stop, and not charging. Very, very, very much worked a lot on this with post players, on this concept, on role situations, to teach them to make decisions on the role. But in the other ones we saw, and in this one, attack on the catch, get advantage on the catch, that's it, end of the story. handoff. Now Jonas Matisek getting this catch. He's not looking before, but he perceives the guy is going under the screen, and now he sees it. And he reads it, and to me, he puts the ball on the ground too early, but he links the actions. Even if it's a little too early, he doesn't stop. And you saw, everything was smooth, like play, second screen, boom, 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 boom. Link action after the other. This is a fantastic play. I cannot be prouder of Giga on this play. Catching the ball. See that, right? Catching and looking for the reverse. He's a good point guard. He looks for the pass first, but he recognizes nothing. He needs one little step and stay balanced and take a good balanced shot without rushing it. But he was looking, and he made the decision in a continuous way after the catch. The same, both in the perimeter, catching and looking over. Another good point guard skill. The guys use their point guards, super important. Here is getting the outlet pass very bad in the middle of the court. I think it's a lot better to get it on the wings. But on the catch, he's looking already before to see if somebody arrives. But now he's looking. Very common, no mistake, very common habit. How many times the guy's coming in the screen and the point guard is the ball, I'm the shooter coming off the screen, and my defender is here, so I'm looking at the defender. How is follow him, he's not, he's late, he's not. Set the screen, please, set the screen for me. Let's say the screen is there. So how many times our shooters do this? And then when they get to the screen, they do this. I teach the opposite. What you see now can help you, but also can be a problem. Because if the defender now on purpose establishes this position and you think because you see me now, you think I'm doing something, but then change my position and then do this and then do this and then I follow you and then I change my mind. And when I get to the screen, I do this or I do this. Everything that happens before, I could change my mind as a defender and make you do the opposite reading when you get to the screen. That's why for me, it's very dangerous to look now and not look after. If you look now, it's good. Then can give you an idea. But understanding that what matters in the screen is what you do now, at the point of the screen. What you do now, that's why we practice this walking with the younger guys and also with the pros. This. At the same time, I get to the screen, look over the shoulder. And if I am super good and I can do this running at full speed, fantastic. But if I have to do this walking, good, this is good enough. At the point of the screen, he has to make a decision. And this is where the advantage comes. Obviously, if the defender is helping on that side and I run and he's late and I'm already open, this is not even the screen. That doesn't really matter. Understand my point, right? The guy is defending, he's with me, he's in this situation. Boom. Read. He's going over, he's going under, they switch, they don't switch. That's why you have to see this. And that's why you have to look over at the point of the screen. And very simple way to train this with younger players and with pros is getting the ball rack there and do the readings on the ball rack. Very simple. You will see tomorrow, I'm going to show you a few clips of injured players. Injured training is another of the basic cornerstones of my job. And the more I do it, the more I like it, and the more I think it's the best moment to work on certain things. And I see the injury as an opportunity. And it's a huge opportunity. And long injuries gives you a huge opportunity to improve things and to change the player's life. Really change their life. Change their careers. Short injuries, they give you less time, but it's also possible to work on little aspects. Many injuries, let's say ankle twist. So for a few days you cannot move, then you start standing, then you leave the scratches out, then you can walk a little, and then you can start jogging, and then you can run. All those steps are the perfect moment to build skill, because you start from zero, from scratch, from a guy that cannot move, to transfer to reality. And this, what I have just showed you, for younger kids is good, but for injured players it's good to recover habits. Because we have professional players that they know the theory of reading the screens. And they know you get in the screen, the defender does this, the defender of the passer does this, the defender of the screener does this, you have to do this. They know all that. But one thing is that you know something, another thing is that you actually do it on the court. And you actually give it a good answer, and it's effective what you do. And sometimes, just because they don't have the habit of doing this, they miss options to shoot. This year I have several conversations with Matt, because I could not believe how many shots we were not taking from him. He was not taking just because he didn't realize he was opening some screens, and the passer didn't realize too. In flare, sometimes we got a flare screen which get us into many offenses, and get the flare, the defender was in the flare, and we kept going instead of just doing this to shoot, but somebody that is a shooter. That's why it's super important, build from the basic, walking, understanding, to transfer to reality. And when the guys are injured, we will talk tomorrow more about that. I'll show you examples of drills that you can do with the guys injured. It's a perfect moment to build the skill from zero, and make the player interiorize that, because you have enough time to do that in the period of the recovery of the injury. And the last thing is finishing the play. We saw creating the advantage, maintaining the advantage, linking actions, and then finishing the play. Okay? Again, my idea, simplify what we do, how we do it, and the decisions we make. Simplify. I need let's start with only two of you. Only two of you, please. One ball and two players. You got some kind of agreement, nobody else can come or something, or? Yeah, good. Well, I hope you're enjoying it. Decision making and finishing. We're already beating the guy, so we know we're not going to talk about maintaining the advantage, we're not talking about creating the advantage. We're talking about what do we do, how we do it when we're finishing the play. Simplifying the drill. We use the free throw line to simplify this. I am here, and you're my defender, you're on that side of the line, also on that side of the line. And you will see a concept in the clips that is what I call the last bounce rule. The last bounce concept is, what do we do when I am making that bounce where I am beating the guy? We forget everything behind. Normally in the game you defend me. Normally you let me beat you. I'm playing and then I beat you. Now the last bounce is here. What do we do when I am beating you? This could be there, any position, but this is the concept. Understood? To simplify, we use the free throw line, we use these lines. When I do this, I cross the line, take one step. You have three options. Simplifying. Either you're super quick and you're already in front of me, either you're more or less at the same level, or you're clearly behind. Those three things that can happen. Yep? More or less. Good. Right. You blocking me? Oh, come on, man. Shit. You think you can block me?
I didn't say nothing.
I mean, some people think, yeah. Okay. We make them vote, you want? Okay. So let's stick to the simplification of the reality, okay? I don't want to dunk on you, all right? We will do, when I do this, you make your decision. Let's say in the first one, you're already running, or we're coming back in transition, and you really sprint, and you really get back. So you really go hard, and I make this dribble, and I see, I'm beating you, but you recover quick. Then you go back, and I shoot, okay? And that's one option, it's very clear, because I see you're rushing, and you just go beyond me, and I stop and shoot. I don't want to get in trouble going under you, because you might block me, right? Second option, very clear. You're behind. I make this bounce, and you're clearly behind. Yeah. Let's say you're clearly behind. Simplifying. Skills, good skills, talk about efficiency and economy of effort. And this is golden rule for skills. Less number of dribbles and less numbers of steps possible. So if I am like this, and I have advantage between me and the basket, there's nobody, I think you cannot make it because I have enough advantage, then one step, one dribble, pump. Why take 2 steps? Or why take more dribbles? Anything more after that, if I take 1 and 2, that might give you time to get another step and block me. But if I do this, then if you're there, pump, it's not that easy for you to arrive. Okay? Less numbers of steps, less number of dribbles. Now put that aside. We don't want to work on that too either. Okay? That is clear, and this is clear. The ones that we got to practice more are the ones that there are 50-50. I make the dribble, and you go with me. So do at the same time as I do. Okay? Go. Stop, but stay there on my side. So I go, pop. It's not clearly in front, it's not clearly behind. I'm in trouble. What do the most of the players do in this type of situations? Side step to get into him, go away, like to shoot. Okay. What else? Go into him. What else? Of 2. Okay. Yeah, all of those are good answers. But what I try to avoid the players to do is what the most of the guys do, and you will see, is do this. You try to block me this time. And take a bad shot. Going away, taking 2 steps, picking up the ball, and jumping without having a safe option to finish. And just get myself in trouble in the air. If I am better athlete than you, fine. If I am the same, I am in trouble. If I am worse, I am big time trouble. Okay? I was going to say a bad word. And so what I teach them is, in case of you making the last bounce and you don't know, keep the dribble alive. 1 more dribble. Go. Whoa. Keep the dribble alive. We go. There, 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 there. Keep the dribble alive. Again. Then I pass to somebody, there is open. Keep the dribble alive. I attack you, there's nothing clear. Pass, or whatever. But keep the dribble alive. In any case, if it's not clear, don't pick it up and take 2 steps. That second dribble, sometimes with that second bounce, is enough for you to get a jump stop or get whatever, but sometimes it's not, and then you can keep it alive. Now let's say we don't do all the drive-through and everything, we just finish the play. There's 2 ways I have there, of 1 foot or 2 feet. And this is when the contact gets in place. When we teach to finish with contact. So when I do this, you're coming back. Let's say we got to get closer. We got to imagine we're in the railways of a train. So you're in the red line, it's your line, and I am in my line that I want to go to the basket. If I take 1 or 2, so it doesn't matter if I do this, and if I do this, and if I do this. If I'm on my line and you're in your line, I'm still going to be in trouble. If I stop and look for passes, good, but I cannot very likely finish if you're big or you're bigger or similar than me. So what we have to teach them is to jump into their line. Again, clear concepts, clear ideas to simplify the game for the players, okay? So we go, bam, bam, and now I'm on his line. If there is any contact, unless it's clearly in front, it's likely to be your foul, because I'm jumping, I have the ball, and you're rushing to play defense, unless I hit you or whatever, right? So jumping into your line, and if it's of 2 feet, what I teach is quick, on the floor, quick. Try not to let the heels touch the ground too much, so I can go quick, bam. Or if I am of 1, the same. Get on your line, get close. Get on your line, pump, pump, create a little bit of separation to do that, because we are not, in Europe, super good athletes, it's another emphasis for me to work on these basic skills. Sometimes if the athlete is super good, he gets away with other stuff, okay? But if the athlete is no good and do the technical things right, he's still going to be able to find ways to score. So, it's totally different. Get the contact before the shot or at the same time as you're shooting. And some good athletes do this, come here. Some good athletes do this, contact to shoot, and at the same time contact, they can manage to find a way to get the shot. But if you're not a good athlete, it's super difficult, and it's a very low efficiency shot. That's why in both cases, what I teach is contact, finish. Contact and finish. On the last step before the shot, not while shooting, before the shot. The same in the post. You're behind me, playing one-on-one, like that. Let me get in the middle a little, and I do this. Let me show one thing, okay? Don't play defense normal, man. Shit. Okay, you're on the side, and I get, stay here. I get like that, and I contact, and I shoot after. This is totally different. Then, if I do this, I don't contact, and I try to shoot. But if I get a little bit of separation, I can have the little half second of time to shoot. In both cases, it's very important how to make the contact. Don't use the shoulder and don't use the elbow. In both cases, the contact has to be done with the side of the back. And to do it with the side of the back effectively, without letting them touch the ball, you have to hide the ball opposite shoulder, opposite side from the defender. By me, you're here with me on the side. If I have the ball in the middle, my elbow is going to be there, and my shoulder is going to be there, and if I move a little that side, you can easily make the referee think I am killing you, just by flopping a little, or even just not flopping, just because I am aggressive against you. But if I have the ball on this side, look where my elbow goes, just by me having the ball here. First, I protect, and you cannot reach probably without falling. And second, if I contact you, get closer to me, I contact like this, with the side of my back. This is a lot less aggressive than this, or a lot less aggressive than this. Understood? Very important, the ball here. So on these actions, we work sometimes on get runners and get running hooks like this, keep the ball away, and do a running hook like this, to teach the players also to keep the ball away, because it's super important to keep the ball away from the defender. Okay? Very important how to make the contact. It doesn't matter if it's one or two. Ball away, shoulder, elbow out. So he's not aggressive against him, and we don't give him the chance to flop and to get us a foul.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Many times, they said to the post players to go up with the elbows out.
Uh-huh. Good.
Is it good, or it's more like the side still?
It is good. And again, everything is good. It's not, I have my opinion, and other coach can say, I don't like this, I like this. Perfect. This, I like in general, and I correct many times when we play, you do post move, any move you want. When I work with the post players on this, do a couple dribbles and pivot. Stop first, do it again. Do one dribble and stop. He's doing the move with his elbow almost attached to the hip. First, you got to protect like this. Dribble with the other hand. Then this is different than this. Like that, now you have your cylinder and you can protect that space. Good. Move, dribble. Okay, now catch the ball and pivot. Okay, but don't just do several pivots, but don't shoot. Okay. Venga, go. Stop. Good. Keep it there like that. To do this is very good. But you have to control that so you don't get into his space. If you pivot like this, you're in trouble. So when your coach tells you about doing this, I like that. Pivot the other way. Pivot the other way. Pivot the other way. Pivot. Now, pivot. Venga, pivot the other way. Keep your elbows out. Pivot again. Good. Every time you close your space like this, you get in a little problematic. But you have to be careful because players, this is another thing. I don't want to get